Alright, I'm back. I got fuzzy hair and stuff, but that's okay. It is what it is. This is how I went to work, but I'm here for you guys if you need questions, but I am making a flower bouquet for my bestie at work. One of my besties. One of the people that I think do really good jobs and never really get any kind of recognition. Except for people wanting to have more money. Our work wants to. Oh, jeez. Of course, I gotta drop everything out of this book. Oh, mercy. But I was listening to different unique stories I like to listen to on YouTube, and one was God, I forgot his name, but it was about a king. It was around Jesus' time that I guess was doing a lot of stuff against Jesus. So and everybody, and I guess this guy was devoured by worms. I mean, I guess we could depict this as a parasite because parasites, I mean, there's intestinal worms and different kinds of stuff you could get. And honestly, once they get in there, you got to have a certain kind of medicine. So maybe it was an act of God. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was sheer coincidence. Unlucky stuff. Sometimes unlucky stuff is like that. All right, I have dog hair all over my house. I'm just gonna turn it this way. I don't know how every bit of dog hair decided to get right there, but I guess it decided to say hello right there. Alright, now I'm going to start with the bow. She wants a gray and like a light gray background with white. But she's gonna put it up in her house. And I do like to make little things for my friends. And I really like sketching out bows. I think they're really awesome. I don't know why. I just do. I'm gonna do the bow first. I feel that would be better. I love sketching out bows and ribbons. It makes me happy. I actually didn't have the worst day at work. Even though everybody's really angry because the new regime is more order, it doesn't seem like to be the worst idea in the world. So, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, I always do my work. And then they put in all this camera business off. But you know what? We're all on camera. You go to the store, you're on camera. You go driving, go stop by a stoplight, there's a camera. I mean, unless you're doing some kind of messed up stuff, there's a camera. So, that is what it is. I'm just shading this up Sometimes I don't like to do traditional flower pots. Sometimes I just like doing different kinds of pieces. And she likes flowers, so I don't give people flowers, but I make flowers. And these flowers last a lifetime. They sure do. Oh, hello. I am doing tarot card readings. I'm just sketching out this bouquet of flowers for my friend. I'm going to put some flowers up in here, and I will be up here sketching this, and then I will be probably after this going to relax because I got to go to work tomorrow, laugh out loud. So, and it's going to be a 12-hour day, so I figure I might as well do a grind today. But if you want tarot card readings, I'm here. If you want to learn how to make a nice sketch into pastels, I'm here also. Because who doesn't like to make a really, really nice sketch? And it starts out with a solitary bow. I guess I lost that person. It's okay. Sometimes you got your artwork in you, and that's all you need. Sometimes it's just a good day between you and your artwork. So, I think there's more people. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna just shade in this. It's good. I like to shade as I go along. I'm a fan of shading. That I am. I enjoy the shading a lot. I like to shade around the lines before you get to the pastels. Alright. Alright, we're gonna shade over here. I like to shade in everything myself. And shade it in the way that I think is nice. Because shading gives so much pretty details. It really does. I love the light dustings of this. And if you can get down shading, you can make anything look magnificent. I do promise you that. It is wonderful to be able to execute something in your head. I just thought maybe you couldn't. It don't have to be perfect. Sometimes you just do things really nice, and your imperfections sometimes turn into a work of art. Once you learn how to sketch a basic bow, you can, if you forget, you can look to see the lines of someone else of how you do a basic bow and just kind of do things on your own from there. And you just gotta remember it's like math. Whatever you do to one side, you kind of do to the other. Like I did these defining lines here. So I'm just gonna shade this out. Because I had it on the other side the same way. It's literally just like math, if you guys are math people out there. I enjoy math. I'm one of those weird ones that really truly enjoy math. I do. I don't know why. I probably because it's a universal language, math. How can you not like math? You know, it's how we discover space, and math is something that we all can understand. And it has its own logarithms. It really does. I love the logarithms of math. I'm just going to put little defining lines in here. And my little bow is getting better. Just little shading. It's wonderful how shading does that. And then I like to think of, because I do know with your brain you foresee things that are in front of you, so you try to shade where it's complementary to your drawing. That's important. And I do have my phone nearby, so I can take pictures of this when I'm done sketching it, and then do the other. We're just going to take some, I'm going to take small lines and just kind of cascade them down. And I'm doing this so you can kind of see that the bow's moving this way. There you go. See? Once I get the pastels involved, it's gonna be nice. Now, I'm gonna start the flowers because the flowers are in here for my friend. They have it on the outside, but I'm gonna just have these stems kind of sticking out. Do that. And I'm probably gonna do this bouquet totally different too. This is like drawing straws. You're doing this. And I'm doing these. Here is how many main flowers I want to make. And every artist, I believe, I think it's easier to start with flowers personally. Flowers and trees, my friends, if you want to become an aspiring artist. Go out there, look up some sketches of flowers and trees. Make that and try to sketch a rose. That alone will really make things better for you. Oh, how does the reading work? I just go and I use the energy. I do energy readings of what I see. I can't guarantee what I see and don't see because I'm not God. And I think a lot of people over here, they think they're God and they can tell you the exact day things happen, but I'm not trying to portray this. But I do, people say I'm insightful, and sometimes I see things. That's why different things. This is why I would never charge. And I get my most insightful things when I'm drawing. So this is why I draw so much. So that is the answer to that question. All right, we got that. Yeah, you can have as many as you want. As I stay on till I'm done with my sketch, and there I go. This is how I do things. It's how I roll, my friend. But yeah, I got 2, 4, so okay, these are real small. But yeah, lay your question on. I like to keep my circle kind of small. I know you hear that all the time when you're younger. Keep your circle small, but I keep it small because when I'm doing this, because I feel it's better to give a tarot card reading when you don't have 100 people in a stream, and you're sitting there going, how in the hell did that person have any clue of my energy when they got 500 people on there? I prefer small small audiences. It's easier to focus. I'm just doing these basic flowers. It's just for me to relax. I have drawn so many flowers, and there's so many people in the world that absolutely love them. You would be crazy. You would be amazed. So, and I just did a reaper for my one friend, a housekeeper. I did this yesterday for them. And my other friend, instead of having something great like this, she wants flowers. Go figure. Well, I don't know what you want to ask about your energy sector, so you would have to. Because there's a lot of different kinds of areas. You could be asking about financial, you can ask in general. I mean, there's a lot of different sectors. So, I guess that would be about it's kind of what you kind of want to know about. I don't like to I don't like to be nosy, I guess. And then shade out the sides. I'm putting little lines in here. Get this flower together. But yeah, ask whatever question or sector you want, and I'll see what I can do for you. Sometimes I see different things, but I do not see angel numbers. I don't even know if those things exist, honestly. People claim they do, but I don't know. I really don't. I'm thinking no. But people do claim these exist, so I guess they could. But I don't see these angel numbers. The only time I've seen any kind of angels was when I died and they did not look like the angels there. Your real name is Gerald. Okay. Well, hello, Gerald. How are you? Are you like Subway, Gerald? Do you eat like all the little Subway things? That guy got so famous, Gerald, with the Subway. I'm hoping I get famous with Amazon. I would love me to do me some Amazon commercials. I really would. These are my life aspirations to open up an animal hospital. So if I go to rescue animals, I'm not worried about the vet because I have an animal hospital. Laugh out loud. Okay, haha, no, I didn't. Oh, see, you are like Gerald. See, you say you're not like Gerald. Maybe you could, Subway can sponsor you, and you could put a good word in Amazon and tell them I'm on Amazon all the time with their music, and I got Prime movies too. And God, I don't even barely go to the store no more. I go to their wholesome food section and everything. But yeah, 125 pounds, that's a lot of weight to lose. Congratulations. It really is. I'm proud of you. Me, I lost weight because I got sick as hell. And I'm trying not to lose weight. It's coming down to where it's getting serious. I'm trying not to be like the movie Thinner over here. Okay. Well, yeah. I think me and Chong would be the perfect Amazon people. Perfect. We would be, everybody would love us. You would see Chong looking for the Amazon packages, which he does in real life. Oh, yeah. Well, my drawings are getting better. I'm really glad I'm able to execute the Reaper, but I do get some people. They come up on here and ask why I decided to draw the Reaper. I draw things that people ask me about. And there wasn't no significance that I'm one with the Reaper or something. It's just someone asked me to draw the Reaper. And just because I do tarot card readings, there has to be significance. The only significance I see with the Reaper is he represents death, but death is renewal, really, and that's just you could look that up anywhere, Gerald. Anywhere. You could ask. I mean, there's some people out there that say God is really evil. I don't know. I hear lots of things over here on YouTube. I don't know what to believe. I'm not trying to be one of those people, but all I could say is OMG. It's a lot. And honestly, no one's alive long enough to know half of this information. And even when you do die, it gets kind of recycled in a different way. So, I don't know. I decide I just do it and I just try to live my life and be happy over here. Me and my happy little sketcher. Alright. I just got out of an 8-year relationship about 6 months ago and I'm seeking someone. I could do a love reading for you. I can do that to see if there's like any possibilities. What happened to your 8-year relationship though? I'm so sorry to hear about that. That's a long time to be with someone, Gerald. It really is. I feel terrible for you. It's a lot of time invested with one person. I was married 12 years and got divorced so because of alcoholism, so and not me. It was the ex-husband. So and then end up getting remarried and we're sort of friends, but I get it. And I feel your pain because that's a lot of time invested. Because by the time you start hitting 30s and 50s and different things like that, it's you only have so much time where you're at your best looks. And I don't think people really think about it like that. If you're with somebody from your 20s to your 30s, of course you look good. You were in your 20s and 30s, and then all of a sudden they ghost you. And, you're still not ugly, but the fact is you're getting older. And then these people they just come by and they ghost you. And it really kind of sucks. It seems to be the way of the world. But from what I hear, these age gap relationships are getting very popular, so. But I will do that for you. See? Shaded flowers. I just got to do 4 of them because I did 4 stems. And then I'm going to do the acrylic things with it. With my little chalk things. I like to put color to my sketches. I got me a fogger. I don't know if you found ever. I don't know if this is at where you're at, but they're nice. They come apart. And I got these refills for. It was like one of these cheap stores. I live in Ohio, but it was only $15, and it's 30,000 puffs. 30,000. You can't beat that deal. I know all the deals. I can go on Amazon and get something so dirt cheap it's ridiculous, and everybody goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to eat all this that you bought." And I said, "Oh my god, I got a snack pack. I got it for $20. I get everything so cheap." Okay, now it's acting up. Now it's gonna drive me nuts. Sometimes you gotta sync these to this. But I got it's strawberry cupcake. It reminds me of the strawberry shortcake I used to bake when I used to make vape juice. And I'll tell you that story because I was making a good hustle on vape juice until the government decided that to outlaw nicotine. I'm not going to lie, I was sad. I literally had a connection in Africa at one point, and then my husband told me that it's illegal and there might be problems. But the thing is I was sad because I was making good money making my vape juice, and I was a good mixer. So good of a mixer. I know, and it messed up my game. So now I'm trying to get my sketching game going because eventually, once I'm able to bring out these for home decor, I'm going to sell these, and I'm working on candle recipes now. And people seem to like my candles, so I'm going to sell those too. But yeah, I made $200 a week on vape juice, and that was with my job. So I was able to save money and stuff doing it, and then the government took it all from me. Yeah, you know what? The only reason, Gerald, that I am good at sketching is because, laugh out loud, I'm in nursing and I take care of people that are dying. And we had famous artists. And when I say famous, I mean here that I know you've heard of the Cleveland Indians, which are the Guardians now. He did all of he did all of the sketching for all the players, and he sketched the first African American, and they were all in books. And as you're taking care of somebody in their last stage of life, they don't want to hear about them being sick. And he was an artist. So what did we do? We talked about art. Told him I could only draw stickmen. And I took care of him for 3 years. Actually 8 years altogether, but it was like in the last 3 years. He got real sick. He said his kids didn't want to learn how to sketch, so he told me I'm going to learn how to sketch. And I said, okay, I draw stickmen, and here I am. But he did a Thomas Edison that is so lifelike. It looks like you're looking at Thomas Edison. And he made so much money. I mean, he died a multimillionaire. And then I took care of another lady that had her own shop and everything, and she would take people bring their pictures in, and she would sketch them. And she was dying, and she told me how to shade everything with pastels, and they both were pastel artists, Sharon and Tom. His name was Tom Denny. He's known all through the art community. And now is crazy because I think God wants me to, or something out there wants me to sketch, because now that I had two great sketch artists show me how to sketch and do pastels and a little paint. Oh yeah, people think I went to art school. It's like, no, I had residents while changing their bed telling me, "Oh, let me see what you drew yesterday and tell me where I went wrong. This is where I went." Then I have another resident that's a professional photographer. So there's something out there looking out for me. I don't know what it is, but I'm just glad it doesn't hate me. But you got a new moon in Capricorn, Gerald, for your central energy for your love sector. And this just talks about working hard, and in this case it's working on yourself. And sometimes when you work on yourself, it's really the best thing in the world to do. But it's signifying that you're working on your inner self and trying to get yourself together, which I get it. I left a 12-year relationship, and it almost broke me, but I got through it. And now I'm better. But you're surrounded by a blue moon. And this just talks about it's hope. It's a blue moon is a hope card. It means don't lose hope, believe in impossible things. Things that can happen. I mean, maybe you'll come across a sketch artist. Who knows? Then you got a full moon in Sagittarius. And this just talks about, if you're depressed and all this, and how when bad events happen, it signifies there's a greater purpose, pretty much, of why it happened. And honestly, looking at the whole reading and gathering up the energy, I'm picking up that this lady you were involved with had a really super high ego, honestly. And at times she was flirtatious. And sometimes towards the end, she wasn't the best person. And I'm getting the grass isn't greener on the other side. So I think that she was talking to someone else. And sometimes when these toxic people come in your life, this happens. And when they're gone and you go through that period of letting go, sometimes something better comes in. And I'm really seeing something better coming in for you. I really am. Honestly. Because you don't need to be with toxic people. Toxic people make this world terrible. Look what they do to the poor animals, all these toxic people. They're screaming at them, making them feel crazy. And then they wonder why their dog don't like them. Because I see all of these. Oh my God, the one of the only reasons I'm on YouTube is because of these sad dog videos. I can't take it. My heart hurts. Every time I see an animal that got their legs chopped off or got their skull broken, it does something to me. And I honestly think of bad thoughts of hurting people at that point. But I'm doing my part for these animals because it's not right that and dogs for families always saying a drunken owner or something. And I'm over here and I plead for humanity. Oh, you're welcome. Because these animals are going through some shit. They are. And the thing is I just feel for them, and I actually am empathic, and a lot of times I'm very good with animals because of it. And I don't like when people are mean to animals at all. If a dog doesn't like you, there's something wrong with you. I'm going with that, and these poor dogs sometimes have to live with these people that are toxic, and they get abused. And they get abused a lot of times, and I will tell you the God's honest truth, because the dog don't like them because there's something wrong with them. And you cannot make anything love you. Neither beast or human. Love is freely given, yes, but love is something that happens. And that's it. It just happens. And it's a gift when it happens. And dogs know this. They honest to God know this, and they get persecuted because they're naturally empathic. So I guess that's where I'm at with that, because I do love I do love all animals. See, sometimes it's good to hide. See, I got this one hiding behind here. Just this little thing, but yeah, just remember, if you see a dog or whatever. I mean, I don't know the answers. I really don't, but try to help a dog if you can. If they're hungry, or if you just see them in a real bad situation, try to help them. My dog's a rescue. He absolutely is my dog, so. And I rescued him from a bad situation. I mean, I think, honestly, I was watching YouTube about, it was a biblical story about, I think it was King Herod or something, and he was devoured by worms, and it came out of nowhere. Sometimes I think when really bad events happen, you did something really horrible to someone else, especially when you keep doing it over and over. I think just karma gets you. But yeah, this King Harold was terrible, I guess. I mean, I went to a Catholic school and didn't hear about this, so I started getting into still life, drawing, and painting. Oh well, thank you. Yeah, I could give you all kinds. I want to share my knowledge of what Tom did. All I'm doing is shading these out. Practice. I will tell you, all you got to do is, I started with trees and flowers. I do suggest that because it helped me. And when you couldn't do a perfect rose, it's gonna, roses are gonna be so hard at first. When you could do a perfect rose, just kind of just start small. And then now I did the Reaper course the other day, but I did Lucifer, and I've done a lot of them, but I did Lilith. I did a couple of them, but shading, I started practicing even more and more. Shading makes everything look cooler, and this pastel work. There's a certain way you blend in your pastels, and this is what the big guys do. And I'm sure here on YouTube, the big painters up on YouTube are doing this also, because Tom told me this is the progression of an artist. And I hope he's at heaven partying it up, because his kids were terrible. Terrible. They didn't embrace him. They didn't even try to learn the way he shaded and sketched, nothing. And sometimes people are terrible like that. But he taught me it, and I want to teach all you guys it. I mean, it's so easy what he taught me. So easy. See, I just took this, and when you do even shading, and I don't just, with the flowers, don't just color it in and be done with the day. You could paint on top of the pastels. I do it all the time. I like to shade in and use a little eye, because that, Tom told me, that gives it more character. It gives everything a little more character. And whatever shading you use for one flower, you go to the other, even if you're overlapping. I will tell you that. And it takes someone to show you to realize this is how it's done. And I do. I bought these master pastels. These cost me on Amazon Life Out Loud $20 on sale. So there's no excuse why you couldn't save up $20 when you have a whole gaming thing. because what is $20? $20 is nothing. But these are chalky, and I do have soft pastels also. But the chalky ones I like to use in the background because I am going to take a picture of this honestly first for just so I can keep track of my progress. So people don't think I'm cheating. Because, people do cheat. It is what it is. I'm going to stand up and get this done real quick. Okay. Now it's time to do pastel time. Pastel time, this is, I think, the most fun part. And sketching was kind of really hard for me at first. I'm not going to lie, I've struggled with it. But once you get the sketching part, the pastels equally can be. But you can learn. And there's certain methods with the pastels. That's the thing. She wants gray and white. So I do have in my soft pastels. You can order them separately. You're going to go through a lot of these. He used this making Thomas Edison, these white soft pastels. And I got black also. I'm going to probably shade a little with these. And I have a whole other pastel set with soft pastels. I might even do a little play with that. Let me see. Let me get my soft pastels. The soft pastels are a little more expensive. Iran, I don't really keep up with I don't really keep up with politics. I thought I heard they want to go to war, but I'm not sure. I mean, I could do a reading on the energy I pick up from Iran, but that's about it. But I can tell you what I see there. I did die twice, but yeah, these soft pastels are real soft. They're not chalky. That's why they got their name. Sure, you can ask a question. All right, in Iran, let's see. I gotta see what the dead people say about Iran. They usually don't like conflict, and they think it's ridiculous when humans are always at war. It's not a fun topic with the dead people. I will tell you that much. Well, Iran got a new moon in Aquarius for their central, and this just talks about bringing love and humanity, which signifies there's no love and humanity or very little in Iran. And then they got the situation there got a new moon in Pisces, and this just talks about meditating, thinking about bad decisions and stuff. And then Iran got a first quarter moon, and this talks about commitment being tested. I foresee, well, I see obviously there's war. There's always war in Iran. There's always war. That's a given. But I foresee there's people actually coming together and trying to go against people, but in a different way, like almost undermining something. Somebody with great power is being lied to and undermined for some reason. Probably because a lot of crazy stuff going on and human suffering, I would guess. But I don't know what it is, but there's some kind of undermining. There's something that's being done. But I can't. But it's real sneaky and it's somebody close to somebody powerful. hopefully the sabotage goes through and then we're good. Alright. I recently graduated and wanted to host a party at a fishing boat. Oh, wow. But I'm extremely anxious about nobody showing up for my day since it's humid or just people bailing on me. Very weird. I would I'd worry about that too. That's not weird. It's not weird at all. You're talking to the person that talks to dead people, so I find that very normal. All right, you need a minimum of 5 to 6 people. Well, if you're throwing a party on a boat, God, you would think everybody would show up. So, I mean, that's what I would. God, if it was in Ohio, you'd probably have like a bunch of people asking where the taco dip is over here. I'm sure gonna have some people. I would hope so, but you got a new moon Aquarius, and this just talks about it. It is a love card, yeah, but it's just showing your inner self coming out. Like the older we get, and the more I would try to phrase it in a nice way. When you get to have self acceptance in the world and they see the actual person that's inside of you coming out, type thing. That's what's coming out. The person you were always meant to be, that with a little bit of pull in the world, maybe could spread good, type thing. So you got that, and that's good. I feel like you're a very positive person. I like positive people. So very negative people just causes a lot of drama, and I'm just not about that. Not about that life at all. But you got a new moon in Scorpio, which talks about you're working through your fears and you're scared people are going to show up for a nice boat party, and I would be too. That probably is money together and time. Then you got a super moon, and this talks about emotions and all that, and people, you know, excited, and when your emotions go one way or another. I see a couple delays in this party. Like some people are gonna, it may not be the right day for some reason and they have to do something else. I do see you getting more than 5 or 6 people though. I do. I wouldn't worry about it. But I do, there is some people that are going to cancel. I do see that. There are going to be a couple guys and a couple girls that are going to cancel on you, but there's going to be you're going to get a group. So if you do get cancellations, don't worry about it. So, and then LC. No, there's going to be a couple girls that have to work. It could be associated with other people. So, but you're going to get people. And sometimes a smaller party is better than a big party. I like smaller parties. I think they're better. All right, and LC. I like that. Do you need a reading on? All right, you want a reading on L and Lee, like a love reading, because there's a lot of different sectors we go through in our life. Is it love? you want, or like a financial reading? I'm going to use the soft pastels on some of these little flowers here. These are nice because they're almost like crayons, but you can rub it in, rub it in, rub it in. Love reading? Okay. You guys are a very love audience. Okay. Okay, you and who is this? Alright, your love reading and what is this? On Lee. Alright. Yeah, it does. You guys are very romantic. I don't get into love that much. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's just the kind of person I am. But you and Lee got a fixed moon, and this just talks about holding on to hope and not letting things get in your way. Because sometimes when things don't come right away and you're in love and this and that, you get worried and things like that. So, and then you got, and that's the main thing. It could be because I'm picking up you got to strengthen your relationship for something like a marriage type thing, but it's like in the beginning stages. And then you got a south node. This talks about not letting things hold you back, like people that have hurt you in the past and things like that. Then you got a new moon in Virgo, and this just talks about giving charity or just giving to add to your good karma rather than taking from others. And honestly, when you give to people, you get something in return because you got to give. And I will tell you that the powers above the the negative and positive, whatever, if you just randomly give people nice stuff and do nice things, it gets returned right back to you, and nicer things will happen to you. So I feel that it's you guys are going to be okay, but just don't lose your just don't lose the where you're not doing nice things. You know what I mean? You go by somebody you go past a homeless person that's starving with a dog. Go get them food. Because I have heard from a lot of spiritualists that God is everywhere. Everywhere. That's what they tell me. And I believe them when they say God is everywhere because maybe He is. You see a dog on the street that really needs help, and if you don't have a dog and this dog is nice, sometimes a spirit animal brings you even closer. Because, or if you're not meant to have the dog, but you're meant to save them for the moment, go save a dog. That would make me happy. I'm not saying you have to save a dog, but Chong the dog would be so happy if you did. My dog would be so excited. And I would just be in your debt forever if you went over out there and was saving these damn dogs that people are breaking their necks and stuff. I don't understand it. People tell me you can have a mental condition. I guess that's what I have to say about it. Now, this, you gotta be real careful when you're doing this. Like, I am just gonna, wherever I have my little lines, I'm just tapping it. I want to just tap it. That's it. Because right where I did my defining lines, Just moving it around, just like that. And that's what you want to do is keep tapping this stuff. And I only do the outside because it's a professional way of doing it, and it's what Sharon and Tom did when they were living. But you just do that, you just tap it just a little bit, that's it. And this is what you could do with the soft pastels. They look like crayons, appear to be crayons, but they are not crayons. See how nice that turned out now? And this set, I got 66 basic ones. This one cost me like 35 bucks. Now this one, but when you get these, you have them for a long time. Look, I only needed that little bit. That is all I needed, was a little tiny bit. I'm going to go and just get, she just wanted the flowers. Nice. I'm going to do this with the yellow. And I'm still going to blend in the background, but I kind of want to get the color of my flowers first. And just take the edges. Just take little lines on the edges. That's it. So all we want to do. And do dark colors last. Anything you have dark, just kind of do it last. Because you then, like if you're doing anything like flowers or just something that's vibrant, it takes kind of things away from it. I will give that tip because I made that mistake before with the pastels, and my teachers that are dead now laugh out loud. This is what they showed me. But I'm just taking the edges and right where I have my details and shading, I'm just going over the lines that I already put. That's the thing with pastels. It's complementing what you already did. So it's easy. And same thing, tapping. Oh, it is very therapeutic. It is. That's why I'm showing you guys how to do it. And see how I have this right here where it's still white? You have those nice defining lines. And take another finger when you have a light color like this and tap it. Or just tap it. And then you're coming down. And then you tap some more this way. Because you're just doing a simple blend. You're not trying... You want to show your sketch. See how you could see the lines even in there? That's kind of how you want to do it. Then I literally had through there. I just have little rags that I put on my fingers. And you can use sponges, yeah. But I was told by professional artists the tapping method doesn't work as well when you use other stuff. I can see that for you guys if things progress in a nice way and you guys cultivate together and blend nice. Because everybody kind of goes through different pathways, I guess you could say. If he stays on the same kind of path he's at, yeah. But they always say, because I did take a lot of psychology, so, and this is true facts, it's no spirits, this is true psychology. You end up, and I know Freud said that, and they turn it into some crazy stuff that women seek their dad and men seek their mom, which is not true. I guess in a sense you seek the character definitions, but the early stage of marriage is your first couple of years. So, and in this first couple years, it's a test of if you guys get along, if you want to put the work into being together type thing. Because some people, they really love each other, but they can't live with one another for a long time. And then you have kids, and you kind of feel trapped after a while. Some people do. And I called it, and it's called the early stage of marriage because that's why even His Holiness the Pope at one time told everyone that they should live together for a year or two before they get married because of high divorce rate. And in psychology, it's like that because you're seeking a partner that complements your life in the end game. So that's what I mean by early stage. And this can break apart at any time. Your friends? Well, that's good. Well, if it's quite new, it just you're at the friend stage where you are sexually intimate, but you're not at the stage where you're nowhere near marriage. You're nowhere near marriage for at least a year or two. And even when you get to that year or two stage when things don't progress nicely, you're just sometimes not meant to be with one another. And some people don't accept this and they stay in this toxic relationship for a long time. And none of that is a good outcome for anybody. See, I'm just doing this little method here with my soft pastels. I don't like to do the soft pastels on my outside. Where I blend in my background, that's totally different. I will show you how to blend in a background, but do not use soft pastels blending in your background. You could try, but it can go very bad quick. I will tell you that. Now, when you're doing little petals like this, you want your soft pastels. And I swear, I told my husband knows if I ever left the house and wasn't planning on coming back because all my pastels would be gone. I would take these with me. I like playing with pastels more than I like paint sometimes. I do use acrylic paints sometimes, but it's just to accent my pastels. That's the only time I use them. I feel when you paint, it takes, depending on if you're Bob Ross. Now, if you're Bob Ross, you can make anything happen in painting, but if you're a beginning painter, sometimes I feel it's almost better to be able to sketch out your own stuff. So, I don't think he's dating anyone serious. He is big on connecting me. Well, you got to see how things go. I mean, don't invest your time into. You got a bigger purpose that has nothing to do with love. Love is great, yes, but we all have missions and stuff that you were meant to do besides getting in a relationship. I know you guys, I call you the love crowd. I know the love crowd doesn't want to hear about that, but it's true. I mean, you could have a big connection, and sometimes, you could be with somebody for a long time, and then you grow apart. Sometimes that happens. So, you got to be prepared that sometimes people grow apart. When I was in my 20s, I'm 51. When I was in my 20s and 50s, well, now that I'm 51, I understand this more. But when I was in my 20s, you could never tell me that somebody wasn't meant to be with me, blah, 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 because I felt all that love bug. But then we broke up, and I was like, damn, why did that happen? And then time went on. I was engaged to my oldest father. Now I'm doing a little bit of dark in here for the middle of these flowers. But anyways, when I was with him, he ended up cheating on me and then he wanted to get back together and just different things. And he ended up getting married, and I was sad, and I was upset. I was not gonna lie. I mean, what woman wouldn't be upset? I mean, we were engaged, and that was it. So years later, his wife is miserable because sometimes he can be a terrible person, and now I see why we broke up so bad. And we were in love and we were together, God. Oh, geez, about 8 years? About 8, 10 years, something like that. Something like that. It was a long ass time. But, and we just broke apart, and he still would like to get back together with me, but sometimes it's better to let that go. Oh, yes, we all have flaws. Can't judge him. I'm still friends with him. I mean, we have a kid together, and he takes care of him. Oh yeah. Oh yes. The powers that be will push you apart if you're not meant to be with one another. That's it. They don't care. And that is true. I was, after a lot of things, I was put in a really nice place. We found another place to live. It was really nice, and I found joy in solitude. Found somebody else eventually, and now, I mean, I enjoyed my time alone. I've learned arts and crafts over the years. I mean, I do yarn work and all kinds of stuff. I really do. I do all kinds of stuff. And my vape juice ventures and everything. Anyone that really knows me, they know I'm always doing a hustle, doing something. But that's just me. But yeah, rejection is life, and you get separated from people for a reason. And then some people go back to that same person when they were separated with them, and that's it. My younger son did that. I told him, you can't tell people love anything. You really can't. He stayed with her, came back with these horror stories. Horror stories, I tell you. So, see, at this stage, it's almost like coloring in a coloring book, and you do eye it to where you like it. And I'm just looking at a crude drawing and just kind of fixing it the way I like it. And then just take your finger straight up and go like that. But yeah, I mean, that is my big advice for that, and I get it. I would just, or you could do what my one friend does. She always says she puts it up to the universe. She literally will ask a question and she says the universe answers her questions. You enjoyed your time when I had accepted that I will be alone. Then came Leah. I still don't know why God brought me along. You know what? It sounds like me and my husband. When me and when me and my when I broke up with my ex husband, I did not date for a long time. I will tell you that much, Al. It was years. Because after being with someone and having, God, because he helped me raise my one child and then we had another, I didn't want nothing to do with any of that. But along came my husband, and I told him I would not go to eat with them. Oh, they're not. And I would tell him I won't go eat with them because there's a rule here in America that if you eat dinner with somebody 3 times, they expect sex. I said hell to the no with that. And I refuse to go on dates with people. And if there was a restaurant and there was over $100, I said, I'm not having sex with you, so that's it. And I told them I work. I can get my own food. And I refused to go to anywhere. And then along came the new husband. And I didn't want nothing to do with him. I just let it happen naturally. That was it. And I swear, he came over with food. I would not go to the restaurant with him. I refuse to go to restaurants because after I was told about this news that you can go to, when you go to these restaurants, people expect sex, I stopped going. I mean, I would go order food here and there, but I did not want nothing to do with that. I was like, no to the hell no to that. And then he comes with all of his food. And he said, since you won't go on a date with me, I'm bringing food. And I told him to leave his food where he was at. I wouldn't even eat, and then he would come to me. He brought the date to me. The people that God and everybody wants you to be near as is the ones that will persist and keep coming in. Even if you don't want them there, they're not going anywhere. This is the problem. Okay, sometimes these pastels act out. They go because they're wax based. So, I mean, if he's doing that, let it go and let's see where it goes. And don't give him no sex. None at all. And if he stops coming around, you know he's not the one. But yeah, I didn't give the new one any sex. I told him I wasn't having sex, and I was like, if you have a problem with that's it. And I was not doing the sex. And he waited. See, these soft pastels I like better. I'm going to do the outside black and then do the inside the ribbon different. You can blend in colors too. But yeah, I would do that, and I wouldn't push sex. If it happens after a while, it's fine and you feel comfortable with it, but don't do anything in this world you don't feel comfortable with, especially when it comes to that. That I feel is an exchange of energy. That's the thing. You're exchanging each other's energy. And I don't think anybody gets that whole point. In an exchange of energy, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. And this is the God's honest truth, and I don't think people really understand the full of it. The full outcome. Because you do. You share each other's energy. Because after you had made love with somebody, or after you had your active sex, you either feel really good or really bad. And it's because you of the shared energy. So if you don't feel it and you don't really know if you want to be with that person, but they're very attractive, I wouldn't do it. Go with your gut there. Because that's the only thing that's going to help you through these kind of times is your gut. And that is the best advice I can give you on that, because I do try to give good advice, because I don't want anybody to go through a lot of hardships, because why go through them if you can learn from others? All right, we're going to start with the black bowl. Oh, yes. A lot of people don't feel that way these days. They really don't. They don't feel that way at all, and these people take advantage of people, and they wonder why they get in these bad moods because they're with all these terrible people. And that's the thing. You get with these terrible people, that suck all your good energy out, and somehow everybody thinks this is okay because they're good looking. Looks really aren't nothing, and the crazy thing about it is my first husband was not so good looking. And to me he was. To the world, no, but to me he was. But then he started getting real ugly when things went bad, and his true self started coming out, and sometimes even the most attractive people can get ugly. That's what happened with my oldest father. He was a very good looking guy. I mean, he's still not horrible looking, but there's always the but. He could be terrible. I mean, his wife, he pretty much has a little slave thing with his wife, and that's probably why we didn't get along, most likely. Alright, I'm gonna add color to this bow. I just feel that it needs something else. But yeah, I give you these advices because I'm there for you. I feel it. Alright, I'm doing little cloud things now. I'm trying to get some color in this. She wanted this like a gray type thing. Because I'm going to be putting gray in the background. So I'm going to try to just take the orange pastel and work it in here. Make this bow pretty. But yeah, I feel you, Elle. I feel your pain. I have been there. I have done that. Now I'm just more interested in dogs and paintings. And I'm in a marriage, but I don't focus my energy on all on that. Because we all are, you're meant to do something great. And I'm not saying we're all going to be president and this or that. We're not all meant to be that. You could be meant to be a spiritualist or help somebody. You could just be that one person that's meant to help somebody. Maybe you're meant to be with this guy and help him. I was meant to help my husband and he was meant to help me. Sometimes these things roll like that too. And I really do hope you have found your soulmate and you guys work out. Because there's nothing more beautiful than finding somebody you vibe with. Alright. See, this looks better with the orange with it. Oh, hi Devin. How you doing? Devin is the Romeo. He reminds me of Romeo. He has a lot of lady callers all the time. He is a very important person. He is in I think it's the UFC fighting. But he has all kinds of ladies. There's a lot that come on the channel. All right, here we go. The black and orange look really good. I think the black and orange make this come out even better. Oh, you're welcome, Elle. But yeah, if you want to have some girl talk, I can give you lots of girl talk. I have been a man hater before when I was younger. I really was. I was terrible. I'm getting better now. Speaking of women, the Romeo, he appears. What women do you have? You're so popular, Devin. You're very popular. I just like to poke fun at you. Chong the dog channel embraces everybody. We don't discriminate at all. How will Shamada feel about me when I see her tomorrow? I'm sure you're very attractive, Devin. You're always worried about your looks. You know, good looks and attractiveness. Me and Elle were talking about this. It's how you treat people, but I'm sure you're very attractive. I mean, you got all that stuff going on. But I will do a reading on you and your new Julia. And I'm making a picture, Devin, for my friend. She does restorative at my work. One of my many little friends that I give free artwork to. I'm glad you didn't get caught in the rain, or did you?
No.
Oh, good. It was
still working.
It was it was coming down like.
I know who was
like
told.
hell.
Who was told at work. So someone went outside and got everyone's bikes outside.
Yeah, it looked like, I don't know, hell coming down. All right, I'm doing your thing, Devin. You know, I'd like to poke fun with you. You think this is looking good for my friend so far? She wanted flowers. Were you here? I don't know if you were here yesterday, Devin. Let me. Oh, here's the Reaper I did for my other friend. She's in housekeeping. She actually wanted to Everybody was asking me why I was doing that. I said I was. They asked, "Oh, well, thank you." Yeah, she wants the background to be that she's putting it in her house. She likes flowers, and then the other one likes. But I think this is a really nice picture of the Reaper. It shows nice. I didn't want Reapy to have all those dark spaces. He has a skeleton. Bones are white. They're not black. I made him different. Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm my friend. I've worked with her for 10 years now, and I don't know. I'm gonna probably, unless I become a famous YouTuber, I'm gonna probably still be there. I don't know. Maybe I'll end up buying the nursing home one day. Who knows? You never know in this realm. But I figured my friend Tanya. I've been promising her that, and of course she likes flowers. Women seem to like flowers. You should grow a whole flower garden, Devin. You have lots of women that like you. It seems very exhausting, but you seem to have the high energy for it. Alright, you with your new lady caller is in a new moon in Scorpio. For both of you. I'm picking up she's worried that you're not going to find her attractive. On top of you not worrying about you being attractive. Look at that. Which I'm sure she's very appealing to the eye because you would not like her if she wasn't. So. And then you got a South Node with her. And this just talking about past experiences, not putting them in the past and keeping them in the past. Like if somebody was not nice to you for whatever reason, letting it go. You know, kind of like the Disney one, let it go. Then you got a fixed moon, and this just talks about holding on to hope. I actually think this one might be a good possibility too with you. I'm actually getting a good vibe from this one. But I will tell you she has a low self-esteem. I will tell you that. She is not, I'm not saying she's weak-minded, but she has a very low self-esteem about herself and she's been through some stuff. So, I would just be mindful of this so you don't hurt her feelings. So I'm just letting you know I have to because I am a woman. And I stick up for my fellow women. So just treat her with dignity and niceness. And if you guys don't, for whatever reason, you don't like her as much or whatever, let her down very easily and don't be nasty about it. Because you get very bad karma from that. Very bad. The women eat ice cream and maybe smoke a blunt or whatever, talking about how horrible you are. And then one day you fall in love, and that's when the eye in the sky above sends you someone to break your heart. So, whatever you do, be very respectful and mindful. That's all I'm saying. And I know you are respectful and you are a Romeo. So, I could do that. But yeah, just be very nice because that karma could come back to you. But yeah, you can. You can ask another question. You know, I don't mind when you come in the stream. You give life to the stream. Besides the artwork, I know I'm gonna try to actually do a really deep sketch. I'm gonna try to do the whole solar system. I'm gonna probably like get a canvas and sketch all this out on my canvas, and I like outer space. That's my favorite thing is outer space. I really don't care for these flowers, but I think it looks okay. Does that look like gray enough? Because she wanted to like gray in the background. Do you see intimate energy when I'm with her? Oh, you okay? You want to have sex? You have got to be in your 20s, because I know 16 to 30, your testosterone is very high, and when you have high testosterone, you want to have a lots of sex. So, but I am medical, so I am going to tell you, since you're a fighter and all that, do not take steroids because it will make your penis shrink along with your balls. You're 23, of course. Yeah, you're at that age. I'm 51, so I've done been through all this. But it's okay as long as, ladies at 21, around their 20s, they want to have sex too. As long as you do it respectfully, that's all that matters. I mean, without sex, there would be no humans. So it is what it is. That's how we're built. Let's see here. If you guys are going to be intimate. It's very nice that you asked that because I know you don't push the issue of this. And it's nice that you don't. Some guys do. They get pushy with these females these days. Alright, you got a new moon in Gemini for the intimacy issue. And this talks about communication. I don't see it happening right away. You're going to have to communicate and answer questions of, are you going to have sex with other people? This one's going to be asking you questions. I'll tell you that much. I don't foresee this one wanting a friends with benefits, if that is any help. So then you got on the intimacy one, you got a north node and a full moon in Taurus. The north node just means talking about doing stuff you're talking about stuff you're uncomfortable with to kind of get their attention. And for you, I'm feeling it's more of intimate questions of like the future and different things. And she's a deep one. Keep that in mind. And you also got a full moon in Taurus, and this just means that the situation needs to be have a practical basis to it. So just make sure you're both on the same page on this. I feel like this one's a real deep person. You get these real deep people. It's like, oh, you're welcome, Devin, anytime. Anytime. Well, I'm glad the flowers turned out good because my friend will be very happy. And then my one nurse friend, she got me all of these markers that have paint on them. And I've been signing these with my acrylic markers. I'm trying to be fancy like that, laugh out loud. Alright. Alright. Chong the Dove. I think I'm gonna make this my pen name. When I get my book published soon. I think it's just gonna stay Chong the Dog. I'm just gonna have this as my book name too. Well, I got my 2 paintings to go out. One for Miss Tanya and one for Sheila. Sheila takes a walk on the wild side with the Grim Reaper. My friend Tanya is happy with flowers. But they all are my friends and I love them. So I make them free stuff. I feel that it's good to give rather than take. Oh, you're going to be donating for the dog. Oh, good. I am so happy. I am so happy you're going to help the doggies. Because those poor damn dogs with these toxic people. I love the dogs. I do. One of my friends from work was sitting there telling, "What do you do on YouTube? Do you have a pack of dogs and go for a dog walk?" I said, if I could, I was on Instagram. They have this one guy that walks 50 dogs at the same time. I wish I could. I would need someone to hold the camera other than me. And then I would need an old priest and a young priest for that, because you see one of my videos with Chong. He's pulling and he goes his own way half of the time. I don't know how I'd handle 50 dogs, but there's a guy that does a 50 dog walk on Instagram, and I don't know what he does. I think he's a dog whisperer. My dog is he just looks at me like, okay, where's my food? And he's very spoiled. So I'm very happy to hear that. And I'm probably going to come on tomorrow. And I know I'm coming off a 12-hour shift, but I'll figure something else. Maybe another one of my residents might want something. And I'll probably do a quick sketch for one of my residents, because they're always wanting something. Deodorants and all kinds of stuff. I go on Amazon for them too, and I buy things for my residents. The old people, they love deodorant and they love smell good stuff. Love it. You can even go to your nursing home, Devin, and donate deodorant and stuff, and all those old people would love you. Trust me. I'm halfway old myself. That's why I take all these supplements. So, what can you do? You gotta embrace it. At least I got through a jaw operation and nothing went to my heart. I'm still up here talking my crap over here on YouTube and doing my stuff. So, well, I'm gonna let you go, and keep me informed on your new lady. And I'm excited about the dogs. Maybe you could buy them nice food and stuff. I mean, hell, if I can get big enough, I do want to open me a dog hospital. I'm already medical anyway, so I want to do a whole hospital for dogs just to get that and then have the kennels in the back. And then all of my little shelters will already have the veterinarians and then have trainers that come in every day. Like if I rescue a pit bull or a German shepherd, they'll come in and they'll literally train him and make sure he's okay. And then this way, when they go to their forever family, they're already trained. That's one of my ideas. I got a lot of ideas with dogs. I'm not leaving this earth till I help these dogs and give them a good purpose and people being able to keep their dogs. Maybe have programs where make them service dogs, and YouTube could pay for it. That would be nice too. I would enjoy that. But hopefully that could happen and anybody could copy my idea. We all there needs to be somebody with dog hospitals and kennels. They really do. But I'm gonna thank you for coming in the stream. Let me know about your lady friend and how goes your life. And I will see you guys tomorrow. It'll be later. It's probably gonna be like I don't get off work till like 7. So probably 8 o'clock at night here. It'll be a later stream because I do a 12-hour shift. So, and thank you guys, and thank you for the subscriptions. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.